of dog to get along with us.
How about these dogs that just bark incessantly? I have a relative who has a schnauzer, and it just drives me up the wall.
There's no excuse for it. They should be taught the skill of silence and the skill of barking.
And how do you teach them that?
Well, it's a little more involved, but it doesn't involve any spanking or anything like that, I'll tell you that. But you have to get a stimulant that's going to start the dog to bark. Once you get him started, and then I use a hand stimulus along with it so that they can visually see the dog, the barking. I make like an alligator on my one hand, and I get it bouncing back and forth, and get them excited, working up. Speak, boy, speak, speak, speak. As soon as you speak it very good, then I put my hand over the muzzle and I say enough, and give them a hand signal, and then praise them the minute they've stopped. Now you're teaching them the skill of silence and the skill of barking, you see.
Only enough. What kind of hand signal?
Well, I just take my hand just across the front of me in line where they can see it. So that they just see, just bring my hand down or anything. Not to strike him.
You're not touching the dog. You're not putting your hand on his face or anything.
No, only put my hand over by his muzzle, or sometimes if they continue to bark, little terriers, I put my hand and just touch their mouth and their nose and just hold it there, and then praise him the minute he stopped. Then, if I know he's going to start barking again, then I release it and start giving the hand signal and start speaking again. And then you've taught him, you see, if you praise him when he's barking, he'll continue to bark.
Right.
And so, how do you stop a dog from barking? Well, I teach him to bark so that I can teach him to stop.
One quick question. This little dog you're talking about, him having a 5-year-old intelligence, he knows not to get on our furniture, on our couch and our good chairs, but as soon as we leave the house, if he's in here by himself, he'll get up there.
All right.
And when we come back in the house, he looks real guilty. He'll look at you out the side of his eye. He won't look you straight in the face, and he'll put his head down and kind of creep off.
Well, see, what you've actually taught the dog by being there, you've taught him not to get on the furniture when you're in the house with him. But nobody's ever been there to teach him not to get on the furniture when you're not in the house, you see. And that's their black and white thinking, you see.
Thank you, Charlie.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Brand new 1985 Buicks for less than $10,000? That's what you'll find right now at Hub Buick at Kirby and Westheimer. This is Hub's annual January white sale, when they put a special money-saving price on every new Buick in stock. And the great news for 1985 is what you can get for less than 10 big ones. Look around Hub's giant inventory right now, and you'll see sporty Buick Skyhawks for under $10,000, luxury Skylarks for under $10,000, even beautiful 6-passenger Centuries for under $10,000. There are January white sale savings on everything, right up to Electras, Rivieras, LeSabres, and Somerset Regals. So come on over. Check out the low prices yourself at Hub Buick at the Hub of Houston, 2525 Kirby at Westheimer.
Ordinary grocery stores simply can't compete with Fiesta's giant selection and lower prices. That's why more and more people have discovered they really do save money at Fiesta. This week you can buy delicious USDA-inspected beef boneless chuck roast for only $1.27 a pound. Or mixed pork chops, also only $1.27 a pound. Save on fresh Florida strawberries at 49 cents a pint. Or bulk mushrooms, 99 cents a pound. So if you're ready to save some money, shop Fiesta, Houston's fun place to food shop.
It's guidance from above. It's the KPRC Sky Spy.
This is Talk Radio, KPRC. Houston, Texas, respond, having fun.
The Houston traffic headache. We can't make it go away, but we can make it a lot easier to live with. So, we present Sky Spy airborne traffic reports every weekday morning and afternoon. There's only one Sky Spy.
KPRC.
Benji just told me every owner gets the dog they deserve. That's right. You touch on that. Hello, David. Here you are in long distance. Here's Benji.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
I've got a question somewhat related to one that was covered a little earlier about wedding, but it's a little different flavor.
Sure, what is it?
2 dogs, a little long-haired Chihuahua and a real cute little terrier-based something named Samson and Delilah, respectively. They stay in the house, of course, and they're pretty good about going out, but every once in a while we'll find a little treasure deposited somewhere, and we don't know who's done it. I'm not talking about wedding, but the other thing. And I'm wondering how to handle that when you first First off, it may have been hours since it was done, and second, we don't even know who's responsible for it. We've never been able to catch one of them doing that.
All right, you don't have to catch them. What you do is put some green food coloring dye in one of their bowls.
Genius idea.
And when it comes out green, you'll know which one that you gave it to. Then you use your vinegar and Tabasco sauce, and the same as we did before on the urine, only use it on defecation. Use 2 paper towels instead of 1. You will pick up the defecation and the 1 paper towel, wave it in front of his nose, and tell him, bad dog, put it down. Put the white vinegar on the other one, rub it over that spot, get the odor of defecation and urine or whatever's there, plus the white vinegar, pop it in his mouth, tell him bad dog, take it out, put a drop of Tabasco sauce on your finger, and just let him go. No excitement, no hollering, no nothing. You're not really punishing him. What you're doing is conveying to him in a way he understands. You see, punishment is exercise in futility, I think, with dogs. I see books with punishment, but it just doesn't work very well with dogs.
What about a way to train them a little better to signal when they've got to go out?
All right, it's the dog's responsibility. And then he gets enough of that Tabasco sauce in there, and he's going to find a way to let you know.
Right.
And it's up to you, of course, to be looking for those signs, to see him circling or coming to the door, back and forth, looking at you with your eyes. They all have different methods. Whichever way works for you and your dog. But you have to be attuned to it, and the best thing to do is control when the food goes in so you can control when it goes out. So when you know he's got to go, let's say that you've timed it and you found out it takes 10 hours for the food to go through him, and if you fed him at 7 in the morning, about 5 in the afternoon or 4:45, you start looking for those signals. And then when you take him out, and then you praise him for going out there.
Well, we've never had any rhyme or reason to that. The bowl of dry foods just stays down all the time.
Well, you want to limit it. You want to feed them at one time of the day.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, just pick a time that will be so far from when it'll come through again. They don't, when they eat, they don't immediately go from the time before or something, huh?
No, there's no way that they can come out within an hour. After they eat and drink, they'll urinate and defecate. Now, it could possibly be the same water, but there's no way it could be the same food.
I got you.
And then here again, you can use your green food coloring dye or whatever. And when it comes out green, if it goes in green at 7 in the morning and comes out green at 5 in the afternoon, you now know.
I got you.
Take your 10 hours. See?
I'll be done. You got time for one other question?
Hurry now. Y'all want to get some more on?
All right. How to train them to not get out in the street? We live in a townhome. We want them to stop at the end of our alleyway.
See what we're talking about, just like children. Just how do you keep them running out into the street?
All right. Your best bet is to stop them at the doorway before they ever get a chance to get out into the street. And you use that same system I used. I was telling the lady before with the masking tape and so forth. Stop them and lead them back 10 feet and praise them each time. Stop them from even going out in the beginning, and then you'll eliminate the problem out there running the street. Now, they should never be run loose anyway. They should always be on a leash. In this today, with things the way they are today, right? They don't survive very long out there.
You betcha. Thank you, David. We'll be right back with Benji.
If the last place that serviced your car kept you waiting, didn't do what they said they'd do, or charged you more than you thought they would, maybe it's time for a change. Come over to Goodyear. We won't waste your time, and we won't waste your money. We'll just give you the best car service you've ever had, and we'll guarantee it in writing. Call or stop by your Goodyear Auto Service Center today for complete car care. We'll take good care of your car, because we want Goodyear to be your auto service center for good.
The sounds of success. The punctuated pop and bubbling effervescence of imported champagne.
¿Qué podría pasar?
Je ne voudrais pas conduire. Tavino buzio inorio.
Author Joseph Conrad once said, "If you give me the right word and the correct accent in which to speak it, I can move the world." Now, you can move your world with the revolutionary AMR Foreign Language course. AMR's bilingual stereo cassette program lets you master a foreign language by simply listening. In your car, on an airplane, even while exercising. By listening to foreign phrases and their English translation, wasted time becomes language learning time. You simply listen and learn. To move your world with an AMR Foreign Language course, call 1-800-323-2500 and savor the sounds of success. Call AMR now at 1-800-323-2500. That's 1-800-323-2500.
Julia Craven was never known as the nicest person on her block. Milkman!
Leave it on the stoop.
Honey, I'm home!
So what?
At least not until there was AT&T Opportunity Calling.
Mailman!
Oh, would you like some milk and cookies?
That's because the mailman is bringing her the new AT&T Opportunity Calling catalog. It shows her how she can save on clothes, stereos, vacations, just by making long-distance calls. Any month you spend $15 or more on AT&T long distance, you can earn $1 of credit for every dollar you spend. So whether it's calling loved ones
How's what's his name? Your husband.
or friends far away,
I got your picture. You look fat.
with AT&T Opportunity Calling, you can save wherever you shop. So look for your catalog in the mail.
And don't forget to be nice to your mailman.
With AT&T Opportunity Calling, the rewards of calling long distance don't stop when you hang up the phone. AT&T. The more you hear, the better we sound.
Benji and I were talking, I was just telling you about all the bird people out there that call us up. Let's see, where's next is Sandy. Hello, Sandy. Here you are.
I'm just fine.
Good.
I have a question concerning my dog. My mother gave me a 3-year-old Cocker Spaniel, and she had been living outside in a kennel for her 3 full years of life. Well, I want to bring her in as a house dog, and I need to know from step 1, how do I go about potty training her to go outside and not inside?
You'll probably find that you've got it almost already solved, because she's already been imprinted to outside going in the yard. It'll be against her nature to go in the house now, because she won't feel comfortable. So when you do bring her in, just start observing her habits and find out when you fed her, so you know when it comes out, and then make sure she gets a chance to get outside. If she does have an accident in the house, then use your vinegar and Tabasco sauce immediately.
I heard that now. I heard you say, just don't let them have their food, but only at certain time during the day, feed them a certain time.
Yeah, that way you'll be able to control it. Makes it easier for you.
Do you do the same with the water, or do you let them have that?
Well, with water, no, I try to give them as much water as they can, but if you're having a problem, they become aneretic, and they're wetting all over, they're getting too much water, so I control when the water goes down, and then I try to get them an adequate amount. Now, if I've got a problem with water, being able to give them to the water there, I give them a few ice cubes in between. It satisfies the need for thirst in there, and it won't throw a lot of water to water. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Could you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, and another thing, she's never been on a leash. I've gotten her a collar, and she's been wearing it. She tugs at it a lot, but she's getting a little bit better with it, but I've not tried to walk her with the leash. Is there some special? Yeah,
you were probably using a regular collar, were you not?
Right.
You need a slip collar, or what they call a choke collar, which is a misnomer. The dog doesn't choke on it. But, and you have to know how to put it on correctly. You put the one ring in the loop so that when you hold up the chain, a letter P faces you. When your letter P faces you, you slip it right over the dog's head. That puts the dog on your left side when you start. That way it loosens and tightens when she makes mistakes when you're walking. If you put it on the wrong way, it does tighten up, and she never knows whether she's making a mistake or not.
So when it gets tight, they know they've done something wrong.
When they know they're doing something wrong, and they'll back off and loosen off on the road.
Well, I sure do appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm glad you were able to get on today.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Hello, Keith, on the long distance. Here you are.
Yes, Alvin, I'd like to ask a guest. I live out in the country, and when my dog gets out, he has to kill a couple of ducks, or chickens, or whatever happens to be around. Is there any way to break a dog to doing that?
Yeah, it can. It's a little more involved. I use electronic equipment. I have a considerable amount of electronic equipment. I control a dog from a quarter of a mile away. But I don't have the correction come from me. It'll come from the environment. This is the best way. Any correction that comes from us makes them afraid of us. So I let the environment do the correcting. And if you call me at home, why, I'll try to go in more detail.
I'm going to give his number here a couple minutes before we run out of time, so get your pencil out, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah, we'll give your number now, and then we'll give it again just as we go.
All right. It's 977...
977...
2339.
2339. Is that your machine that I've called over? Not to worry, you'll get his machine if you do what it says. He'll get back with you. Next up is Linda. Hello, Linda. Here you are at KPRC.
Thank you. I would like to ask you about my 3-year-old female poodle. She me bad when we have people over that have children. She wants to snap at the children. And she doesn't particularly snap at adults, but she kind of wants to.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, she really goes after the children, and we have to put her in another room every time we have guests.
Okay. Now, when you put her in the other room, you get scratching and whining and crying back in there?
Not much. No.
Not much? Not too bad? She's 3 years old. Now, going after the children there, see, the children are subordinate to her.
Mm-hmm.
Dogs have a pecking order from the lead person in the home, which is usually the senior male in any home, automatically, and then the wife, and then right on down the line. The children are open, fair game as far as she's concerned. So she has to learn that this is not acceptable behavior. I would put a leash and collar on her when they come, and so that I'd be available. And then here again, if she starts on the children, how old are the children?
Well, it can be from 9, 10 years old.
Okay. At 9 and 10 years old, you're capable of showing them, does she jump on them?
No, we always warn everybody, don't touch the dog. But, you hate to invite guests over and then make them right away come in the room and say, oh, don't touch my dog,
Yeah.
I feel foolish. So I would like to train her to where the children always want to touch her.
All right. Well, you might have a dog. I can't really say on the air unless I saw the dog, but you might have a dog that's very touchy. Is it
hereditary?
Well, sometimes it's genetics. Sometimes other influences have come on, and I'd hate to give you the wrong advice there, and without really knowing the dog would be very difficult.
Well, her father was real snappy like that. He was real feisty and very snappy, and we tried to be just the opposite with her and very calm, and then at the doorbell, I guess all dogs know when the doorbell rings, and then I can't even say who is it, because my who is it immediately makes her bark so loud that I can't tell who it is.
You definitely need some obedience training, because she's running things around there. And you need some help. But she'll come in line. Probably 1 or 2 lessons is all you'll ever need for that.
All righty, thank you.
Thank you for calling us. Bye-bye. Hello, Susan. Here you are at KPRC.
Yes, I have a mixed breed dog here. It's a delightful dog. She weighs about 85 pounds. But she has a problem when it rains. She howls and barks and cries and jumps on you constantly, all the time it's raining.
All the time it's raining?
Mm-hmm.
Is she thunder and lightning?
Lightning and thunder.
Is she scared?
Yeah. How about her? Do you know anything about her parents' background at all?
Yeah, we had a Labrador who unfortunately got pregnant at the wrong time, and this was the one puppy that we kept. So I've had this dog all her life.
Okay, were any of the other dogs fearful like this at all?
I don't know, because we gave them all away as young puppies.
But the mother, the
mother has no problem with them.
No problem. Okay, because sometimes it's transmitted. It's allomimetic behavior. It's transmitted from the mother or the father, whatever they were around.
I don't think so.
Okay, so then she would have just a normal fear. What I try to do in that case is try to alleviate it. You're not going to eliminate it, but what you can do is modify it. I try to set up another behavior so she isn't left, if I'm around or if I have a chance to do it, I'll set up a pleasant experience. Like I'll feed the dog at that time, if I know a storm's coming and so forth, and soothe the dog somewhere like that. If they're going to be alone, I confine them so that we eliminate as much outside sight that they can see, so they can't see too much outside with the rain. Turn up the radio real loud and try to mask some of the thunder or the lightning sound in there.
Okay.
And try to mask it a little bit, and then if you can, if you're at home at the time, you might put a leash and collar on a raincoat and take her right out with you. Once she finds out...
Oh, really?
Yeah, try to do it, to face up to it. There's a combination of things in there, and all things don't work on all dogs, but you might try any one of those.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you for asking, Shirley. Bye-bye. Hello, Laura. Here you are at KPRC.
I have a question, several questions, actually. We got a 5-month-old doggie from another family, and it's a beautiful, very smart doggie. We've got a few things we need to break her of. One is she jumps up on us all the time, and her nails are sharp, and of course they're digging on us. How do we get her to quit jumping up?
All right, 2 ways. One, you can put the leash and collar on, and then have the one that she's most likely to jump on first, and have them pull them down and tell her no, and then praise her after she got down, even though you forced her to get down. You do this a couple times, and you'll see that you won't even be able to induce her to jump on you again. If you're not capable of getting a leash and collar on the time, make two fists, fold your arms across in front of your chest. Don't look at the dog, don't smile, don't laugh, don't do a thing, don't say a thing. Just freeze there. And within 45 seconds, she'll get down and walk away on her own. And eventually, when you do this, if she starts to come to you, she won't even bother to jump. She'll turn around and walk away.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Can you get the mental picture of what I'm driving at?
Yes, no, body language. It's your body language.
Your body language is doing it. Yeah, you're establishing your alpha dog status with her right away.
Okay.
By doing that, that's what does it? Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, she's doing some digging in the yard.
Yeah, we have 1 minute, so let's make it
Okay,
quick.
she's doing some digging, not near a fence. This where the one little area that we only have some vacant ground with no grass in it.
Uh-huh. Okay. She, the digging, I take it you've already looked at the nails and so forth to find out if that would have been a problem there.
Yeah.
Okay. Then she might be having a mental problem of some kind, too, if she's scattered digging around, or she might just be digging into the dirt in there.
Oh, just having a good time.
Yeah, or just having a good time. If you set up a competing behavior with the ball and the spring and so forth with a little play yard, you might modify some of that behavior pretty quickly.
All right, how do we get hold of you to hire you?
Easy as pie. But you have a pencil?
I do.
You call 977-2339
Okay.
and speak into the machine.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Let me tell the number again for folks here as we're running out of time. I'll tell you again in the next hour as we begin. If you can't find a pencil now, if you want, you can call the producer and she'll be glad to tell you. 977-2339. Thank you for coming by. I'm delighted to have you come by. People just get all sorts of wonderful answers. You make us feel so dumb when you come by. Benji Edwards, our dog trainer. We're going to bring him back again here in a little while to visit with you some more. Thank you for coming by.